I'm good.
Did he just go like this? I'm good.
No, that's pretty funny. You know what the fuck I do? Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of DreamHack Tonight's The Download. Today we have a very special guest. He is a legend in the fighting game community, the esports world. He's been around for a while, but he's also been a very positive force in the community, inside and out. So before we get into that, Kyle, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Alex. I am so ready for this weekend.
What's the last game you actually downloaded?
The last game I actually downloaded, man. Black Ops. Not me. I guess it's not
Cold
Black Ops
War.
anymore. The new Cold War. Yeah, we've been playing some
Nice.
zombies on that. Pretty good.
Well, let's team up. It's crossplay because I'm on
Heck
PS5. So,
yes. Hit me up, man.
but yeah, today's very special guest is Justin Wong. This guy has done so much in the community. Now he's helping a lot of companies become successful, from QA for Arcade One Up, Panda Global staff, PR coordinator for Vicarious. Like, I don't know how he's allowed to have all these jobs at once and take him away from the rest of us. But and then Asus, Astro, hey, a couple of our sponsors, Blue Microphone and Astro Gaming. Shout outs to them. But welcome to the show, Justin Wong. How are you?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good. It's just my birthday just passed, so we're going at 35 years old. Just staying safe, staying inside. I mean, staying indoors is definitely my favorite place to be right now. So it's been a pretty fast year, actually. I think like the year has gone by really, really fast.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary how every event that we remember feels like decades ago, right? I think the last time I saw you, did you go to DreamHack Atlanta last year?
No, DreamHack Atlanta is always, I feel like, on the same day as another event.
Capcom Cup Finals or something like
Yeah,
that.
Capcom Cup Finals. The last time I saw you was Anaheim.
Oh yeah, in January. That's right. And we had that
Yeah.
great meeting with a bunch of companies together.
Yeah,
So
I came out literally for like one day. Like I just came back from somewhere and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just take a flight to go to Anaheim and check it out and stuff like that. And yeah, hung out for a bit, so it was pretty
yeah,
cool.
because you grew up in New York, then you were in LA or California or NorCal. Was it? No, it was LA, wasn't it?
I was from New York to LA, then San Jose, NorCal, and then Vegas now.
Las Vegas. So you do love the West Coast. But our first question for people that might not know who you are, if they've been living under a rock, is tell us about your gaming history, right? You're an arcade baby like me, and one of the best fighting game players of all time. Like, kind of tell us how you got into that. Was it a family member? Was it friends?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 1985, so we had a really good arcade called Chinatown Fair, and it's like legendary. It's like literally a fighting game arcade. But my family never actually wanted me to go there because I guess the stereotype is like too many gangsters and thugs in an arcade, like people that just want to start fights. But my friends at the time that I went to school with in middle school, they always loved going to Chinatown Fair to play Marvel's Capcom 1, and then I want to hang out with my friends. So ever since I started going to the arcade and we were just playing against each other, and I was really bad at the game, and they were just making fun of me like, oh, you can't do these simple combos and stuff like that. So I was really upset. I was like, man, like something really, like just fueled my soul right there to like really practice. So I found like this random candy shop called Raoul's Candy Shop, like in like the hood, and they had a lonely Mars Capcom 1 machine, and nobody goes there. So I was just playing against the AI because there was no consoles back then that had that ported that game, or like I was too poor to have a console, so I would just play at like the candy store and get good. And once I got good at the candy store, I went back to the arcade and then started beating all my friends, and then they stopped going to the arcade because I kept beating them. But then I started making actually like real friends, people that are from the fighting game community, and I didn't know the FGC existed during that time. It was just they just got off work, and then I'm like, bro, they is cooking me right now. Like I could not touch them and everything. And then after that, like my world opened up because I didn't know that like there were actually like better players than what I have learned, because I felt like my friends were the best in the world, but then they just came up and just proved me wrong. So it was like a new arc, right? And then ever since then, I was just always hooked.
And all of that ultimately led up to like this culminating moment of Evo 37.
Moment
And
37. Yep.
yeah, like that, like you went from smashing it in a candy shop to get better and grinding against AI to crushing your friends, getting your ass kicked again by these FGCers, and then Evo moment 37. Like that was a pretty big gap between that. Like you're a top tier player at that point. What was that like? And looking back on that moment after all these years?
It just never. I don't know. Like, I'm very bad at like hyping myself up or like talking about myself, but to me, it was just like such a dream come true because I never thought that I would play anybody or meet people outside of New York City. I thought I was gonna just stay in New York City forever and have like this like I guess boring lifestyle. But ever since I got into the FGC and like the people older than me were like, giving me advice on like traveling, go to tournaments, they would like chaperone me because I'm like 15, 16-year old at this time. And like it was amazing. I never thought I would actually leave America, like or leave New York City, like I said. And then I was traveling around America, going to California, Chicago, and I'm lying to my parents. I'm telling them, yeah, I'm staying at my friend's house in New Jersey. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not, if I told them that I was in like Virginia, California, I'm flying by myself. Yeah, I mean, when I get home out there, they're gonna whip my ass, right? That's just what it comes down to. Um, but going from there all the way to Evo moment 37, like I would say that was kind of the like one of the first times I really fought like against like super strong like Japanese players. And everyone always talked about, Japan is the best, like it's so good. It's kind of like a myth, right? Back then there was no internet, like stuff like that. So when you hear like these rumors, it really stands out even further, right? People would tell me like, yo, like they flew Japanese players from a private jet to California and everything. And I'm like, word. And I believed it too, because I'm like, damn, that's really cool. I wish one day I'd get to that level. So, play like you could just tell every time you play against a Japanese player, they have this like aura. So, and especially Daigo, it was like definitely like a mysterious aura. So going from literally smashing at the candy shop to like playing against like Daigo at like Evo 2004, that's already just like a big like milestone that I literally like came from the bottom, started from the bottom in terms of playing games and then getting to like the top level. I still lost, but it was an amazing moment that encouraged so many players, so many people to even play. Because during that time frame, like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, it was a dead game in America. Nobody played the game. Everybody hated the game. But once Japan came over, it's like this is how you play Third Strike. It kind of rejuvenated the Third Strike community. It got people interested. Everybody probably went home to try to parry the Chun-Li Super, right? Probably like for months and stuff like that. It's even in trial modes in the current Third Strike games right now. So like other than that, like it's just been a really amazing ride actually.
Yeah. So, side note, first time I ever went to Japan, you went with me and you showed me around. So you are one of the greatest travel partners I've ever had. But yeah. So moving on, right? So a lot has changed, obviously. After that, when Street Fighter 4 came out, you went to Evo against Daigo, one of the greatest sets, to kind of launch a new generation. But now, over the years, right, as we kind of get older and start getting these opportunities in the community, in the industry, like how did you end up influencing with so many companies and getting all these connections? And how do you find the time to do all these different things?
I would say it's pretty tough, but what really helped was when I was on like Evo Geniuses and Echo Fox, there's a lot of times where they want me to go to like trade shows like PAX or E3 or go to TwitchCon. So like from there, like that's kind of where you do a lot of networking. Like obviously in FGC, like we have a tournament and like some tournaments don't have like big sponsors coming in, stuff like that. So a lot of times it's literally just come in, play, win the tournament. That's it. But like when you go into like these trade shows, like there's so many different companies there, and then a lot of times there's all these like these parties, and the parties are definitely probably the best times to actually network, and like you get a lot of nice conversations going on and everything. People are just really chill. You get to know one another without the whole like corporate like type of vibe, right? And then from there, like everybody that also works for these companies, they're also gamers as well, so they kind of understand. They probably came from a similar background as like the person that you're probably talking to during that time frame. So I just kind of just started conversations, right? Started conversations, and from there I was like, I guess I'll try it out, right? Because I would say around the end of 2017, like I just kind of wanted like started to do my own thing. But then, so I started like kind of like creating contacts and everything, and keeping like good relationships, working with them on like, let's say like a one-time gig, but like, making sure I kind of put in my all, right? I'm always like really good at just kind of like going more than like the standard. Oh yeah, we just only want two social media tweets or whatever. I'll probably double it just to do it, right? And then when 2019 came up, I didn't want to like re-sign with Echo Fox. So I decided, this is a risk, but I'm gonna just try and see what happens, right? So then I hit up like Asus, I hit up Astro, and they were like really nice. They were the first two companies that were like super, super duper nice. And I'm still working with them now, so they're great. And then just reach out to different companies, telling them like what we can do. So and now running online tournaments and creating like getting these other brands that won't work with me, but I'm like, hey, we're gonna run a tournament. I would love to have you just like your logo, stuff like that. So I'm just creating contacts even from that situation, maybe for future purposes right down the road. So it's really all about just networking properly and like kind of like giving off a positive vibe. But I do not have a lot of time. I guess my social life is kind of shot. But I would say I'm pretty good at multitasking in general. So yeah, I think I can always find time for everything, unless like I would say otherwise.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you're
and
friends with Alex, your social life is for sure shot. That's something I can agree with.
we've actually been good friends since like 2009. But yeah, I mean, networking is what it's all about. I always tell people like, how do I get into the industry? I'm like, go to the events. You can't just sit at home and wait for an opportunity to come to you. So, and that's how I got better as an organizer. And working with you the first year of CEO, and DreamHack, you actually helped promote the DreamHacks, but back in like 2010, where literally the only names were you, Mike Ross, Gutex, right? Promoting stuff. So that was a huge help in networking and building those relationships. Now, you've probably been asked this question a million times. When we get back from COVID, right, and everything's back to hopefully normal sooner than later, what advice do you give people that ask you, hey, how do I get into this industry or into the competitive scene?
I always tell people this one is like you were mentioned earlier. You can't just wait for home and hopefully some company or some team just DMs you and says, "Hey man, I see that you're a grandmaster in Street Fighter Five. Like I would love to sponsor." That's not gonna happen. Like no one's gonna do research to that like to that extent. Most of the time, you actually have to invest in yourself to get results, right? So like I mean, you came during the time frame before sponsorship became a thing at FGC, and we spent our own money to go to these tournaments, right? There was no streams back in the day. There was nothing. It was just literally like, oh yeah, we recorded it. We're gonna upload it to like Shuriken.com, and you could download it from this like Zach D's website, right, for the Marvel 2 stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say now you would have to invest yourself. I do think it's a lot easier to get noticed now because obviously there's YouTube, there's Twitch streams, and there's also broadcasts at tournaments, right? So many people has gone to tournaments and they like, let's say if they upset XY like favorite player, boom, your name's already on the board. Your name's already noticed. So many people have gotten sponsorship because of that. But a lot of times I do feel that people are just like, hey man, I just beat this. I beat Taquito. I beat Daigo that one tournament. Why am I not getting sponsored? I'm like, so you think you just beat him once? So you're like, you beat him in one, 2 out of 3 set. You should be able to get a sponsorship now. And it just doesn't make sense to me. People, it's like also the era of entitlement as well. So people need to understand that it's a grind, it's a hustle. Success does not come overnight when it comes to, especially when it comes to like fighting game community stuff. Like you really have to invest in yourself and just go to tournaments. Like there's nothing wrong with just having a job and then saving up money to go to tournament to invest yourself to like try to get this opportunity down the road for like maybe a possible sponsorship from this company and everything. I don't know. It just kind of irks me because when I got in the scene, I obviously did it for the fun, the passion. I just wanted to play people. I just want to say that, oh yeah, I beat your ass. I'm better than you. That's just the competitive side. Now it's like when I grow up, I want to become a pro gamer. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, I don't think you understand like the how hard it is to stay as a pro gamer because there's a short time span. There's no like hours. It's not like a 9 to 5. It's like literally practically a 24-hour job because you don't know when you're gonna get the email, right, from like a said company to do an influencer gig. Your time zone might be messed up by traveling around the world nonstop. But I would say that it is a dream come true for sure. Like I'm definitely lucky. Like I'm super lucky to be in this position where I'm able to just kind of fumble into this, playing at the arcade to like, able to just provide for my family because we came from a poor family. Now I'm able to like, take care of my family, like from both sides. So it's really a dream come true. It's a blessing, but it's also very stressful and time consuming at the same time. So people need to understand that it's not like the number one focus in your life that you should focus on. It's like more of like you should like, yeah, if you love playing games, then keep doing it. Like video games is supposed to be an escape from real life for you to have fun. If you could do it professionally, then good stuff to you. And there's also ways to do it besides being a pro gamer. Like I said, you could be a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, influencer on the social medias. Like there's so many ways to like for you to get into the industry without being like a grandmaster in Street Fighter 5.
Well, let's drift away a little bit from like the work and the industry side of things a little bit and get to know more about you as a gamer. So I have an interesting question around if there was only one cabinet at your arcade for FGC, what would that one FGC cabinet be?
I mean, probably Mars Capcom 2. Even now, like I've been revisiting like this game for a long time now. Just there's 56 characters in the game, and back in the day, like I would say we only focused on the top tiers,
Yeah.
right? So then now, like I guess playing all the modern games has taught me to go back to the old games to revisit the characters that we never revisited. So I've been having a blast. Sometimes I'll just be in training mode and I'll stream it, and then like look at the time, like damn, 6 hours passed. So, like I didn't even like stuff like that happen, and I see a lot of other old school guys like have been going hard too, as like Yipes, Chris Matrix, Sanford Kelly, and they've been like streaming a lot of Marvel 2 as well. Like they've been playing sets. It makes me so jealous because I can't play with them because there's nobody over here that plays like I guess on the West Coast or like there's no offline sessions on the West Coast at least where people can come over and stuff. But we are fortunate that we have like this like new program called like
Fightcade.
Bear and Fightcade to allow us to play like these old retro fighting games that you normally don't have access to play online. Like because before that, the only way to play Marvel 2 online is if you already have the game installed on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So if you deleted it, you cannot re-download the game. So stuff like that is pretty hard. Like it got me so sad because I had like the old iPhone, so I didn't have memory. So I deleted Marvel 2 on my iOS. Now I can't reclaim it. I can never download Marvel 2 on iOS ever again. Even though it's a bad port, I just want to have it. But now I cannot, and I cannot install it. So, but we have community made programs that gave us this access to play really good like netcode on these retro games. So yeah, that's kind of been my whole year actually. And I know Jebailey's been on that too.
Oh yeah. And
I
they
love
just
seeing
they
that.
improved the DC emulator. They used Flycast now.
Yeah, actually I saw that in the patch notes. I haven't tried it out for the DC games.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to think of these games that were pre Xbox Live, pre a lot of these online services are actually getting the ability to play now. And as someone that's gamed my entire life, you think about some of those that may come back and be relevant again. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Guilty Gear, they did the rollback, right? And then I think they saw like what 9,000 players just were on Steam playing this game. I'm like, bro, that's amazing, right? So I'm hoping that like it happens for all the future games. Let's say if Tekken did the same thing with like Tekken Tag 3, Tekken Tag 1, and then they gave the same rollback online for that one, right? Or like the old King of all like SNK's already been doing it, but like all the other King of Fighters and all, and then it might do it to the modern games as well, where they improve the netcode, and then Capcom does the same thing, right? So then if they keep doing that, I mean, damn, I'm gonna be playing fighting games until I die, pretty much.
Well, when you're not playing fighting games, what are some of the other video games that you enjoy playing?
I guess it really depends on that. I would say I'm really addicted to fighting games. I'm not like Jebailey where he plays every popular game out there or something that comes out. Like I do have an interest in the new Spider-Man game because I really love Spider-Verse. It's good. So it just really depends on the game, like if it's hype enough. Like I played obviously Final Fantasy 7 remake. I played, but like I mean, I might get a lot of crap for it, but I don't see myself playing Cyberpunk.
Interesting. Yeah, you may be the only person that I know that is not planning on playing that game for the entire month of whenever it comes out.
That's right.
So,
Nobody's ever going to play it if it doesn't come out.
right.
Oh, like Death Stranding. I wasn't interested in Death Stranding. I never played it.
Great game.
Yeah,
It's very different. It's departed from a lot of what you would expect, and diving into that esports and FGC specifically, it's so niche. It really is that there's a lot to explore in that as well. That has such a rich history. You think about the brawlers and beat 'em up games from back in the day. That a lot of those all spawn from those fighting games. There is such a rich, deep history there that you can explore for your entire life and be completely content and entertained.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Justin, last question for you. And it's probably impossible to answer because I don't know what else I would be doing. If you never picked up video games when you were growing up, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
So during when I was going to college, I was doing like because my grandma just wanted me to kind of have a stable office job. So I was already like in like business administration, business management. So I guess like something boring like to please her because she's the one that raised me, right? So yeah, I guess business administration, business management, something to that standard. Nothing exciting. Definitely, I was already set to live this boring life until video games have came into my life and like the people that that kind of like nurtured me, like, hey, you should go to this tournament, you should check this out and stuff like that, because there was no way to check back in the day. Or there is a way, but I didn't have a computer back in the day. So I would have to ask my friends to tell me when's the next tournament. Can you like write it down? And then I can just go. So like that was kind of like, the type of lifestyle I lived back in the day. But like I said, super lucky to live this blessed life. And yeah, I just hope that I can keep providing for my family and give them a better future than what I had when I was growing up, right? So I want to give Harper and maybe like another possible child in the future, like a better childhood than I had. That's all.
Cool. Well, everything worked out in your favor, man. Really proud of everything you've accomplished, and thank you for being my friend as well and putting up with me. But to end everything, where can people find you, and what's next for Mr. Jwonggg?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Jwonggg with 3Gs, Instagram Jwonggg 3Gs, same as Twitch with 3Gs. YouTube, I got my whole name, Justin Wong, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, other than that, let's see what's next. I don't know. I'm home running tournaments.
Dude, we were flying every single weekend to events, and now we're just like, I don't want to fly anymore. I'm enjoying being at home all the time.
Yeah, but I'm actually missing tournaments, to be honest. Like I when I watch like YouTube videos of like places, I'm like, oh my god! Like I was supposed to be in Japan at least 3 times this year,
Same.
and I can't go. I haven't gone once. It's killing me. I haven't brought back any goods.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
I just hope things get better for us at least, and then we're able to resume the current lifestyle of FGC, because I actually do miss it a lot.
Yeah, I miss you too, buddy.
I never said I missed you. I said I missed it.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I'm a part of it, asshole, and you go to my events. Anyways, Justin, thank you so much, man, for coming on. Guys, this was an awesome interview with Justin Wong. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Give him a follow if you want to watch some old school fighting games, because he literally will open your mind up to how crazy those things can get. But Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank our sponsors, Simply Nuck, Blue Microphone, and Astro Gaming, for your continued support of our shows.
Thank you, guys. Take care.